managing weight is not just about eating more kale.
Hello and welcome to Beyond Diet Redefining Weight Loss Summit. I'm Keila, Cravid, your host, and today I have with me Anne, which is a nutritionist of a women health coach and is founded of Vive Health and Wellness to support the needs of smart and successful women at midlife, giving them the confidence to do what they want to do with the energy that they need. An endurance athlete with the 12 marathon and 3 Ironman and triathlons under her belt and live what she preach. She is a regular speaker to the media, corporation, and lifestyle organization on various topics of health. So Anne, go ahead and tell us who you are and what is it that you do.
Sure. Thank you for having me, and thank you for hosting such a, I think, important topic, because so women that come into my practice talk about how they have been on a diet since they were like 12 years old. And I specifically support women at perimenopause to postmenopause, and I support them on their journey, and which often include how to have a little bit of a handle on weight loss. So I'm a licensed nutritionist, but my approach is fully holistic because, as we will know from this interview today, managing weight is not just about eating more kale.
Absolutely. It is not. We know that it is underneath this iceberg that we see, there is more to it. So I'm looking forward to see some of the ways to busting this midlife, the myth of the midlife diet. Yes, let's dive into it.
Yes, I think that one of the big misnomer is that, what we used to do is going to work for us our entire life. And this is a very specific time of life, and even at perimenopause. And I should actually, mention, Keila, that a lot of women are in perimenopause and don't know it, right? We can be in perimenopause as early as 35. For a lot of women, this is shocking news, but this is when we start to see the drop in estrogen levels as well as progesterone. And estrogen is much more than a sex hormone. It's much more than a reproductive hormone. We have, as women, estrogen receptors throughout our entire bodies. Estrogen is an anti-inflammatory hormone. So when these levels drop, what we start to see potentially for some women is all kinds of reactions with the body. Right? It could be muscular pain, it could be the skin changes, and we start to see changes in our energy level and our ability to maintain a certain weight. So the classic line that I hear, Keila, is, but I'm doing the same thing I've always done, Annie. I eat this way, I exercise, but now I'm gaining weight. But before I did not. What is the difference? And that is a result of declining estrogen levels. So as I said, it can start really early, but of course we haven't been educated to what perimenopause can entail. So first of all, I need women to know it's not your fault. This is a natural process of life. It's not a disease. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. It's just that you haven't been told what you now need to do differently to manage your weight and your energy in an effective way.
And I think like the body is like giving that keys, that response to wake up the women into looking what is it that is happening, instead of just having this approach is, oh my God, am eating healthy, I'm doing exercise, and yet I'm gaining weight. But is instead, like you mentioned, the estrogen level is dropping. So what else is happening over here that I am not aware of? Yes, because so for some women, they're expecting to touch in the menopause at 40. But you say it's starting by 35. So how can we bring that awareness and look into it with the perspective of this is what's happening actually?
Yeah. What we want to do is really support this transition of life, right? So that perimenopause phase can be as long as 7 to 10 years
Mm.
before we actually have, officially menopause, right? And menopause only means 12 consecutive missed menstrual cycles, right? That's
Mm.
it. So a lot of women, for them, this is going to be inconsistent for a number of years, right? So 7 to 10 years. So there are many things. Let's talk about the things that women can do, because this is why we're here. And we know that, ladies, if you're listening to this, that this is of interest to you. So first of all, what we need to acknowledge is that our protein requirements need to go up.
Mm.
So this is one of the first things. Protein will help because we're also going to be talking about our lifestyle strategies, but we want to be increasing protein because, first of all, they don't trigger insulin the same way that starchy carbs do. So one of the things that estrogen does is actually modulate the role of insulin. And this is a really, really critical thing. We become what we call insulin resistant or more insulin resistant at this stage of life. This is why the weight gain is so much easier at this time of life. So it's
Mhm.
really important to get a hold on our blood sugar levels. So with more protein, and protein digests slowly in the stomach, I feel full, which is what we want. We want good energy, stable levels. And we don't want to be triggering insulin too much.
Mm.
Insulin will be, every time we eat, insulin will be triggered a little bit. But we don't want to be triggering too much. So high
But
level of protein.
sorry to cut you, but this will depend of the thing that they are actually eating, right? That will be
Correct.
triggering depending of what they actually are eating.
Yes, but protein as a rule is
Mm-mm.
not triggering like starchy carbs.
Mm.
So that's one of the really, really important things to know. So 30 grams at each meal is what we recommend.
Yeah.
Second thing is, especially now, increasing the fiber. So
Mm.
fiber is also excellent for the body. Women now are shedding a lot of hormones, and we want to be detoxing this. Fiber is actually really important for that. Fiber is like the big Swiffer of the body. So really important in terms of metabolic processes. Fiber is also something that will keep you full longer. Fiber is in only in plants. So
Mhm.
whether it is wild rice or broccoli or carrots or nuts or legumes, for example, you will be able to really help with your overall body composition. And we're looking at 25 grams of fiber per day.
Mm.
So that means 5 or 6 portions a day of at least half a cup each. So that's what we're talking about. So those are the two big things in terms of protecting ourselves. What we want to avoid are these foods that have been so processed that the fiber is gone, because
Mm.
those really trigger insulin, and
Yeah.
that gets us in trouble. That results in fat storage, right? So the white things on their, especially on their own, without protein, without quality fats. And I like to say, women in the 80s, we were told that all fats were good. And that was terrible. They're terrible guidance, because what we know is the real culprit are the added sugars and the what we'll call very processed foods.
Mhm.
Like, to some degree, we need to process things in order to be able to eat them. But what we're talking about here are the ultra processed foods.
Yes. Also, now that you spoke about like the food being removed, the fiber, let's talk, for example, about the orange juice. Yeah, when you eat the orange, you are getting all the source and natural in the
Fiber.
thing.
Yeah.
When you do the juice, all the fiber almost is gone and lefting alone with the fructose, the sugar of the food. So what is your approach in regarding to that?
Yeah. There's zero juice approved in my book,
Mm,
because it's not just that it's almost all fiber. All fiber has been removed from extracted, right? We've extracted the juice from, if you look at the orange at the end, right?
mhm,
You see all the fiber is left. Same thing with apple juice, right? Lots and lots of fiber in an apple. There's nothing wrong with eating an apple, right? There is sugar in there, yes, but it's surrounded with all that beautiful fiber that the body enjoys. The body does a lot with this fiber. So
mm,
it's not a waste, it is a necessary nutrient to the body. So we do a lot of, when I walk into a grocery store and I see all the juices that are available, I find it's heartbreaking. And it's not to say that once in a while we should not have treats.
mhm,
Absolutely. This is really important. It's not that there's some foods that are good or bad, but when I see that we promote these types of foods, so-called to be healthy, and they really mess up with your metabolism, that's when I say there's a problem, and we need to educate people on that. So fruit
mhm,
juices, no. Especially, think about it, right? We tell people to have this first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. What is going to be the response? It's going to be this massive glucose spike. And I think that it's worthy of people to understand that women at midlife, at menopause, are so much more likely to develop pre-diabetes and diabetes. And diabetes is truly the pandemic of the 21st century. We have sky high rocketing levels of diabetes because of the diet that people are,
mhm.
even in countries that had never had diabetes, as soon as the North American diet is introduced, boom, diabetes arrives. So this is not a genetic thing. It's not because your mother had it or your sister or your grandparents. This is lifestyle related.
And now it's fascinating that you just touching that because in my country, in Africa, diabetes normally appear in the people in the elderly age, right? Because probably they're not having the enough fibers and all the stuff, and the insulin is like a more resistant that stage, and they are developing diabetes. But now we can see any age,
Yeah,
any age.
we
And
see
it
children.
yes, yes. So this is a big call out for us as a mother, as a standard, to really put out there like a wake up. This is your moment. This is your moment to wake up. This is your calling. So really looking more closely into these things and make a decision that will not only be for today or tomorrow, but the future, the decision for in the 30 years from now for the next generation.
Exactly. Exactly. But what I want to make sure that women know today is that we often think that weight gain comes with menopause, and that you have no choice, and that is not true, right?
Mm,
That is not true. With adjustments to the diet, more magnesium as well, because magnesium helps with the metabolism of carbohydrates, women can definitely get a handle on their weight, as long as also they focus on lifestyle such as activity and not just, how we used to be all cardio focused. No longer we want to be in that cardio thing, but now we really want to combine the adjustments to our diet with a strength training practice.
Mm.
And that's often weird for women, right? Because we were never encouraged to do strength training. I never thought I was going to be in a gym in my life because I thought, I don't want to be with these men. And this culture is just, ugh. But I will tell you, it's completely changing. And in fact, gyms are really growing because of one gender, and it's because women are going and they want to be lifting weights. And that's excellent, excellent news. Because when we build the muscle mass, we help the energy cells, right? The mitochondria of the body. This is the furnace that creates the energy burn. So the more muscle we have, the more energy we can create, the more we burn. So this is good for women, especially at menopause.
Absolutely. And you know what is fascinating about this strength exercise? Everyone that came in here that touch base with workout in some level, they suggested exactly same thing. They mentioned like the strength workout is what we really want to tune in into so
Yeah,
we can develop the muscle. But there is this, as women, there is this misconception about
right.
if I do the strength workout, I will become masculine, and they avoid it at all costs, right?
Yeah.
So how can we show them that it's beyond that as well? It's beyond we look
Well,
like.
yeah, and I think that's a really great point. So, two things about that. One is you would have to spend all week long in the gym in order to look like Miss Universe, right?
Mhm.
The women and the men that are ultra defined, with the muscles and everything, they spend hours every day. That this is not what we are talking about here, right?
Mm.
So you will not get like that from 3 times a week, 45 minutes, which is what I want my clients to do. Like you will not become all like muscular, right? Like I do a lot of strength training and do I look like I would win a contest? No. So that's the first thing, right? The second thing is we've been told, to be all skinny. But the real message needs to be strong
Mm.
because the stronger the muscle mass, we can correlate to longevity, and not just longevity of living a long time, longevity of living a long time in a healthy state. So there is a correlation with healthy muscle mass, the lean muscle mass and the quality of muscle that we have, and the ability to live a long and healthy life without high blood pressure, without cholesterol, without diabetes, without arthritis. That is what we want. So, midlife is one of the best times for women as an insurance policy to be strong and healthy and have a quality of life that we want to have and enjoy.
Mm. I
And
love.
then I think that it's really important to mention that last another aspect as well to finish that point is that women are 2 times more likely to develop cognitive diseases than men.
Mm.
And why, somebody might say, why does this matter right now in this conversation? Well, when we exercise and strength training and movement, we actually protect our brain from rusting, from aging.
Mm.
So if you're going to live a long time, you want to have all your faculties, right?
Yes.
So when you adopt an active lifestyle that includes also strength training, right? You're protecting your body, you're keeping your weight, you're helping you maintain a good healthy weight, you're having more energy, so you're enjoying your life more, and you're also protecting your brain for the next decades.
Oh, yes. So if you are watching us. So we are challenging you to just start in your strength exercise training, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't have to require you to spend the whole 7 days a week. Start small and build up accordingly to your time, to your schedule, because we know we are in this business of being mother, working outside, and doing all those amazing jobs that we normally do. But now is the time to accept that insurance policy that Annie mentioned, because you are getting the golden ticket to your elderly life with fully function, moving without requiring support of anybody. So the question
Yeah.
is, will you accept this ticket? All right. So go ahead and tell them how they can find you.
Yes, so people can reach me super easily on my website, which is veev.ca, veev.ca. I have a lot of resources there, but more importantly, there is a contact me button, and I will have a complimentary session with anybody that is interested in diving into their peri or menopause journey. So
Mhm.
weight loss and also all these other lifestyles that we just touched on today.
One last question is, for those people who are in the fencing regarding to transforming their health in a long life journey, right? And making it a way of living, because they are still thinking like waiting for the next magic, next
Oh,
pill,
yes. The
whatever
next super
coming
pill.
up, right? So what would you tell these people as in regarding to where they are and how they can position themselves into a journey, right?
Yeah. I cannot remember who said this beautiful quote, but a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Right? So your first step today could be get rid of the orange juice that is in the house.
Mm.
Add one more fruit or vegetable to your diet today. Add a little bit more protein to that breakfast. For example, ditch the bagel and have perhaps, a nice oatmeal with some nut butter on it. Okay? Little actions will all add up to make a difference. So today you can choose just one small thing. Today you could, if you're somebody who's doesn't move a lot, maybe today you do a half an hour walk. Right? Start with just one action today. Make it one
Mm.
goal.
Yes. So if you are watching us and you came this far, accept the challenge and start with that one baby step and start one thing today. So thank you so much for watching us. Thank you, Anne, for incredible talking. I really enjoyed it. I was taking notes in here, so it was amazing. Thank you.
What a pleasure. Thank you for everybody also that is listening. And what a beautiful gift that Keila is giving everyone by organizing this summit.